And hello loves, welcome back to another reactionary video with your girl Sarah. I am excited to come with you with some more trailers. Now they are not all Angel Studio trailers. I've been fond of doing about 3 trailers a reaction video because it kind of gives just enough to where it's just a good reaction length, but not too many, not too light. But we are also dashing in Light of the World, their official movie trailer. Now, it might already be out in the movie theaters, but I went ahead and threw in Light of the World, the official movie trailer, because I'm thinking that is different than the trailer we've seen before. But I figured we've seen the other one, why not react to this one as well? But yes, thank you all for coming. Please like and subscribe and comment anything you would like. Keep it appropriate, keep it kind, keep it nice. Otherwise, it will be deleted, or I will try my best to delete it. There's only so many comments right now, so it's easier to delete the bad ones, but I won't say if there's like too many, then yeah, there might be some that fall through the cracks, but I am trying my best to keep the comment section clean and nice. But let's go ahead and get on into it. The first one we are watching is called Faith of Angels.
Dad, do you think we could go into the mine now?
Yeah, these mines are like a maze. You could turn around so quick in here. Can you imagine walking around in this with no light? Can't even see the opening anymore.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? It's been nearly 24 hours since 10-year-old Joshua Dennis was last seen.
I'm sorry, you won't find me doing that. There's no way. I'm not a fan of the dark.
Why can't they hear me?
And there's no way I trust a mind, let alone an old mind, to stay up and running well enough to not
heard a voice.
collapse.
Sheriff, I think I can help. I have a crew in there right now. They handle this kind of thing.
If he's in there, we'll find him.
What is he doing?
So we got a mysterious stranger come to help
We'll investigate all
because
scenarios that could have happened to the boy.
an angel
All
sent him.
scenarios.
The boy might be lost in there, or he could be hiding or injured. Maybe the boy just doesn't want to say anything.
Why would my son be hiding?
It just doesn't make any sense. We've been through every possible place he could be.
I think it's time we just
Obviously not.
consider the inevitable.
I'm sorry, nobody found.
Are you a
There's
man
no
of
way I'm
faith,
giving up
Sheriff?
searching like that,
You don't run something that's important on faith.
especially when it's your kid. Like, there's no way. There is a reason why so many people say it's so
showing up in the mine.
have like
I spent my
that
life
closure,
crawling around through those tunnels.
like
And I can't
to
shake the
have a
feeling
body
that I should
found.
be
It's
healthy.
not just because like that's at least some kind of closure. That way you know definitively whether like heartbreak or not, you at least know. Because otherwise you're not, most people aren't going to stop searching. Not for their
We
kid.
have a missing boy. If he has even a sliver of hope, we better respond to it.
Oh wait. Is he an angel? Because the faith of angels are faith of angels. Is that implying that he's an angel sent him? Like, I did say angel because you said something about a dream, but now I'm wondering if maybe he's the angel. But then again, angel more or less isn't talking about it's more or less talking about a title that an angel or that a holy being can have, more than what a holy being is, because an angel is just more or less a messenger. It's not necessarily like a cherubim or a, can't think of the other names, but yeah, it's more or less like, so I could also see that he is just a person and he's an angel being sent because he's a messenger being sent. I could see that being the deal, but looks like definitely gonna be a heartbreaker, or maybe just a good uplifting movie. Depends on how it turns, of if boy is found alive or not. But yes, that is that one. Let's go ahead and get on into the next one. This one is called Hoovie. I don't know. Now, Faith of an Angel, I'm assuming was a movie. I don't know what this is. So I guess we will see.
I lead our high school to the state finals. After we win, take us to the Final Four
in my first year. That's my plan.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I've got 15 uniforms. Every one of them's available. Let's
Skipping
see who wants them.
in the past. I'm sorry, I did not mean to say it like that way. It's feeling like it's a movie about
Don't go to sleep. You gotta stay awake.
Our dear Lord.
It's a brain tumor, isn't it?
We're gonna get through this.
based on an inspirational true story. It's
One good
giving
shot to
those
the head
vibes.
could kill you.
That's official?
Yeah.
Not that that's bad, I'm just saying as far
Why
as
is this
a lot of
happening,
times
Coach?
you can get different ideas of something depending on
Every 8 hours, I gotta
Where it's
train
from.
each eye to see in a straight line again. Sorry, Mom. You and Dad didn't sign up for this.
Don't you ever say that again. And if we have to go back to Dr.
Because in reality, no matter how
training
hard
wheels, that's what we're
things
gonna
get with your kid, like a good parent is
May
always
take a
there
while,
with
but
it.
we're back
It
on
doesn't
this
matter
team.
what you ask for, what you didn't ask for. They're your kids. You love them. You're gonna.
good lick, you're done.
What
take
they're
your
dealing
best
with is
shot.
you're dealing with, and it's not
Maybe I
on
want a shot
them
myself.
or their faults.
Some college looking at me too.
A team is a group of individuals united in the pursuit of a goal. And this is best summarized in a two-letter pronoun. We!
Our family?
So definitely
That is the
a
only dream we ever had.
sports recovery
Believing
type dream
makes
or
it possible.
movie.
I believe in you, Eric.
Faith makes it real.
Okay, so I found out a really good way to identify Christian movies now. Now, I'm not saying that this is bad. I'm just saying as far as in, I can't remember who it was. I will try to put who it was because I was watching a Christian YouTuber's video. I want to say, and I will try to link them below if I can figure out who it was. I watch a lot of Christian content, to say the least, for a lot of times, especially sometimes I just try to put seasons or times where it's just Christian content because you just sometimes need a refilling of just like time and space with God, and sometimes you are tired and you don't want to be in the Bible or watching a sermon. Sometimes you just want to watch something that's laid back and easy, and so you can get that in other ways. But basically they described it as, or they were saying how there's a lot of Christian movies that are made for Christians, and basically now when I think about it, it does make sense of basically classifying if a Christian movie is for Christians or for everyone, or I guess for secular audiences as well. Basically meaning like, is it one of those cheesy Christian movies, or is it a compelling Christian movie? Like, is it one that's center of the or every Christian content should have God at the center, but is it one that's center preaching God, or is it center showing God, I guess, to make the difference? There's a difference between a movie that you feel comfortable or just like could easily see your friend who is not a Christian watching with you, compared to one that you might just watch with the family on Sunday because it's a good movie, like you find it a good movie, like for your own edification in your faith, compared to it's going to bring outsiders in. But this is definitely one that I can see is Christian movies to Christians are not bad, but this definitely is a Christian movie to Christians, compared to another one being like The Chosen, or something like that, to where it's compelling, and even that being based on the Bible, not word for word exactly all the time, but as far as in, that would be something that more so brings people in instead of just edifying an already Christian. But yeah, like I said, this is definitely one of those Christian movies for Christians. But hey, it's definitely one that I could see watching on a Sunday or a time where you are just wanting to watch a good movie about Jesus that you don't have to think too hard about. So this is good for that. We are going to go ahead and get on into our last trailer of the evening, Light of the World. I'm excited about this one. And I do have to say, I really enjoy how it's showing, like I always rant that I am so psyched about more animated Christian shows, and more specifically animated or like Bible shows. Like I find that fun. Like I was a VeggieTales kid, so I enjoy watching stuff like this. It's stuff you can watch with the family, stuff that also you can just easily watch when you're just wanting to watch something lighthearted and where you don't have to think too hard. Like that is always, and especially when it is just a good, also entertaining movie that is just easy to watch. Like that is a good entertaining movie that is a Christian movie that you can watch, not in the replacement of reading your Bible, but alongside it. Like nothing should ever replace your time with God or your time in your Bible, but there are some times to where having time on other things when you just want to like spend time with God, but you don't want to think too hard, or like when you need some rest, I guess some good rest time to where your brain needs to rest, but you still want something filling for your spirit.
Tell me about this Jesus.
Definitely was feeling, I know it's not
your taxes, can you pay
Aladdin
them or not?
Yes, of course.
vibes, but definitely,
My
I
son
don't know.
John is
Seeing that,
right
I
here
just
with your money.
thought of Aladdin.
3 days, double what you owe. And if you can't pay, we take your father to prison.
I brought someone who can help. This is Jesus.
I do have to say, I love how young John is in this. It did say, like, I love thinking about this, because you don't, like, in your mind, you often think of Jesus being this 30-year-old man with other, like, 30-year-old men type deal or older, but in the Bible, it talks about I can't remember where it is. I will put the verse. You know, I am very much, maybe can't think of it at the top of my head as far as in what verse or chapter or book it's from, but I can tend to give a brief summary of what I'm talking about and give you guys the cliff notes. Is that the right term for that? I can give you the cliff notes and give you the I can tend to give you the Cliff Notes version and give you your access to look it up yourself. That way, if you want to, because you really don't always ever need to take somebody's word for it. You should always double check, or at least mostly double check, especially when it's just a stranger on the internet. You don't know how well literate I am with the Bible. Even if I've read it 20 million times, there could be lapses in my understanding of it. So it's always good to check for yourself, especially before you take it as hard facts. But yes, I'll put wherever it is, but it talks about Peter, or Jesus telling Peter to go get a fish, and it's going to have his and Peter's tax money. And I always read that and thought, oh, okay, he's good. He's like paying for his tax, and he's just like helping out his friend, which, yes, technically that is it. But I just felt like, oh, yeah, like either the other ones paid their taxes, or Jesus was being kind to one of his disciples, but not really, I guess, thinking about the others. I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot of thought put into that, why it was just Peter. Like, it was just more so like just a kind thing to do for Peter, but not really thinking about how, okay, well, what about the rest of his disciples? But it is talked about to where a lot of people who do their Bible stuff talk about how that implies that Peter was actually the only one of age to pay taxes, meaning that he was the only one, I want to say 20 years or more. Oh, because it was temple tax. I think that's what it was. I don't know. It was some kind of tax, but it might have been the temple tax, because that makes more sense if it's based upon the age being 20 or more, because in the Jewish tradition, because of the law, a lot of things were based upon a man being like 20 years of age, were meant for different things. Like, I don't want to say that made him a man, because the whole 13 bar mitzvah thing like makes you like, I don't know. God basically said like, when you are 20 years or older, like there are certain things you have to do because it's required. So that basically implies that every other man that was following Jesus was basically younger than that. So basically kids, like it was Jesus around a whole bunch of kids, which also begs to differ. I mean, I guess it does make sense and doesn't make sense of the whole ushering away the kids. Like, why would kids be ushered? But then again, like when you're young, you got very much like tend to have like a what is it called? I could say God complex, but not. I'm just saying like that as far as because it's with Jesus. But like you feel high and mighty because you're like, yeah, I'm not a kid. I might not be a grown up because I mean most like I might not know it all. Like, but I'm an adult now. Like I got some years on me, not many years, but hey, I'm not a kid, so I can see that being like, hey, we're with Jesus, you need to go because you're kids and you're a little kid, like you don't need to be in the grown-up business, but you know, we're old enough to be in the grown-up business. Thinking about that just brings up so much more different context. Like, I can just think of the whole big kids being in the adult business, and then just like you know, when you're always told like you're too young, and then you're finally of age to just like sit in the adult conversation. You just like feel so like, even if you're not super interested in it, a lot of times you can just feel like this sense of accomplishment in a sense. How like now I'm thinking about like the whole old enough and you're not old enough. So I don't know. In my head, it's funnier, I guess. But yeah, I guess I enjoy the fact that we are seeing a younger John, implying like going with the whole he was younger. So I'm enjoying this. Like I think that would be fun. Would be fun. Like we've seen it, so like I'm excited to see more of it.
Your father to prison.
I brought someone who can help. This is Jesus.
Never heard of him.
He's helping people. I want to be a part of that. This is my chance to show
endearing.
up.
No, we've talked about this. It's just a story.
Papa?
We're gonna need a bigger boat!
Would he even be old enough to drink the wine? I mean, it's not here, so I mean it's back then, so I assume maybe that's something to where when you're 13, old enough to drink. But it's just...
He turned water into wine! He's the king of all kings!
I knew a guy who ate those.
The baptizer?
With the honey and the wild hair.
Ooh, that gets me every time.
This is just so cute. I could also see that kind of scene being more understandable of
Tell me about this Jesus.
Being that they are younger. It does make a lot more sense of a lot of when you're older, even sometimes in your older 20s or above, you tend to be more humble than you used to be. I'm not going to say everyone or even like always, but you tend to be like, I have more life experience, not in a sense of I'm right about anything, but as a sense of I know I'm not right about anything kind of sense. And when you're in your like younger 20s or like teenager years, like you kind of have a hard time many times listening to your parents when they say something isn't going to go a certain way. You want to believe that it's going to go the way you think. And it takes failing a time or 100 to realize, oh, maybe I should have listened to them about this, whatever it may be, because they have years under their belt. So it's hard to humble yourself when you're younger. Like, there's like a stubbornness to you. So it does, I guess, make a lot more sense. I'm not saying this is definitively, because we technically don't know definitively. We're just taking context clues from the Bible. But that would bring into light a lot of reasonings of why there was so often Jesus could do something over and over and over again, just basically doing miracle over miracle over miracle, and the disciples would still, how is this going to happen? Like, still come to impossible things, or needing the impossible, and not thinking, oh, we have someone who can do the impossible. Like the whole bread and fish multiplying, that happened twice. Both times the disciples are like, what are we going to do with all these people? And Jesus, like, the first time is like, okay, you haven't seen it yet, which I beg to differ. There are some things in the Bible to where Jesus doesn't do it for the first time. As in, he might be doing it for the first time, but it's not the first time. Like the whole argument of, I've heard it before, of why was Zachariah mute after denying that something was going to happen, like denying that Elizabeth was going to be pregnant, because it's just like, oh, I'm old, she's old, that can't happen. Like, how's God gonna do that? And he was put on mute. No, that's funny. Yeah, he was put on mute. But when Mary was told, hey, yeah, God's going to give you a baby even though you've not done the do, and she wasn't. But to be fair, it was said that Jesus would come from a virgin, but it was never done before. But the whole Jewish faith was literally riding on the back of an old man and an old woman conceiving. So that makes sense of why the angel would be like, hey, why you doubt me, man? But also the whole breads and fish multiplying, Elijah did that with oil and with flour. And I want to say that it happened again with Elisha, where another woman, because it was Elijah, I just got through with that part of the Bible, so I know for a fact that's Elijah, came to a woman and her son during the famine and was like, hey, can you get me a glass of water? Hey, can you make me some bread? And she's like, we don't got but this much, and we're gonna eat it and die. So, I mean, if I had it, I'd give it to you, but can you please let us die in peace, in a sense? Like, let us eat this last meal and die. And he's like, hey, yeah, if you give me some, then it's just gonna not run out until you're able to get more. And so that didn't run out until the famine was gone away and they could get more oil and flour. The same thing with Elisha. There was a woman that's like, hey, yeah, can you help me? There's these people coming to take my boys because we have debt and can't pay them, and I don't want to lose my boys. Like, I've lost my husband. Help me out. And he's like, yeah, get a whole bunch of jars. The oil you have, just keep pouring it, and it'll just keep pouring and pouring and pouring until, like, you got no more jars to fill it with. And that's what happened. So them doubting the whole fish, or even thinking about the fish and the bread multiplying, when the Lord's like, hey, yeah, you feed them. Like, what do you have? Just feed them. And they're like, so at least it's, I can understand, like, maybe the first time, because even hearing these stories, you can tend to have a hardened heart of not thinking that it could happen again. But, like, it happened in front of your face, and then you were, I can't say that, I'm sorry. And then when I ask you again, you still like, hey, yeah, we can't help you out, man. Like, we don't know what to do. Like, you're Jesus. Like, and Jesus is like, what do you have? Like, basic. it makes sense that even Jesus doing things multiple times of the same thing, or just doing miracle after miracle, how they were still so often like, what are we going to do in this impossible situation? But to be fair, they still also looked at him, so benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, it's just like, them being young makes a lot more sense of why they were so often like blind, to say the least.
Tell me about this Jesus.
Jesus is no Messiah. He's nothing.
And sometimes evil men silence those who speak the truth.
What is truth?
This is not the end.
We didn't see the rest of that, but I could.
It's the
like,
beginning.
If the whole what is truth, if they don't have the line I am in response, like they're missing it. Like it's right there. Like I'm hoping that's his response.
He is the light of the world.
Okay, that's done. But that last hug got me because it made me think of also John being young. That bring up, like, I'm not saying definitively John is young. I just say in this adaptation, that makes it all this. I'm not saying it's not sweet because it's still like God the Father, like brother type, laying on the bosom of the Lord type deal. Like that's what kids do with people they trust, just like laying up on them, like, you're my safety. Like, that makes it all the sweeter. But yeah, that's it, and I'm excited about it. And comment which one you're most excited about. I'm definitely most excited about The Light of the World. Like, I cannot wait. What about you? But that is it for this evening, and I thank you all for coming and for staying. Appreciation always. And yeah, that is it. I pray blessings upon you all. Bid you good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whenever it is for you. It is night for me, so good night to you. Good. Bye.